of heroes, villains, and lore. He's got opinion you can't ignore. From indie gems to Marvel's might, ComixDad's here to set it right. Panels pop the story, so I'll tell you what's worth fighting for. Some books shine, some books fade. ComixDad's coming in. It's the pull list. Here we go. ComixDad's got the highs and lows. From epic wins to flops that miss. He's breaking down the books on the pull list. So grab your stack, don't miss a beat. ComixDad's bringing all the heat. Tune in now, the verdict's in. The pull list, where the comics begin.
Hey everybody, what's going on? ComixDad here, and welcome back for another episode of The Pull List, where we sit here and I will go over the new comic books that are coming up for the week, because every Wednesday is New Comic Book Day at your local comic shop, and I will be going through and giving you some of my personal recommendations on what I think may or may not be worth picking up and reading, or possibly throwing into what I call the trash box. But again, it's just my personal recommendations, my personal opinions on this stuff. You're more than welcome to hop into the chat and agree with me, disagree with me, whatever. Here to have conversation and just talk about comics and have some fun and have a good time. But before we get into it, let's of course get into the chat. And right off the bat, before we even started, 26 minutes ago, our boy Snooty Mims in Rumble with a 20 said, "May God fill your cup and running over." God bless you and your family. Snooty Mims, brother, God bless you and your family, sir. You, for the last several weeks, excuse me, I'm getting a little choked up. For the last several weeks, you have been very, very generous towards myself and also my wife, Queen Comics wife, who's here also streams on YouTube and on Rumble. But you've been generous to both of us and super kind, and we are so undeserving of it. And yet you keep showing generosity and showing us some love. So Snooty Mims, brother, it is with a very, very, very warm and open and humble heart that I say thank you so much again, once again, for the rant, for the donation, the blessing, the gift, whatever the hell you want to call it. But thank you so much, Snooty, and this, as always, is for you. Bully McGuire, let's go. But now that we took care of that business, let's get to the rest of the chat. Brimstone over on YouTube was here earlier, said, we'll have to catch the VOD later tonight. Brimstone, if you're lurking, brother, no good. Or not no good, all good. All good. No worries. All good. Well, White Devil Otaku's here over at Rumble, says, "Hey, I hope you and the family are enjoying a lazy Sunday." It was not a lazy Sunday. Today was cleaning day in the house. It was cleaning day, and we Queen Comics wife definitely she carried the heavy load. She did the kitchen. She took care of part of the bedroom. I was helping with the kids' rooms and the living room. It was a joint effort, but Queen Comics Life definitely did more of the heavy lifting in terms of the cleaning responsibilities today around the house. So it was not a lazy Sunday, but we did enjoy it nonetheless. Thank you for being here, White Devil Otaku. And speaking of the Queen herself, Queen Comics Wife said, "The Queen is in bad pain tonight. The Queen is down. I repeat, the Queen is down and in pain." But Queen Comics Wife, go check her out over on YouTube and on Rumble. She'll be live on Tuesday. Yeah, she's in a little bit of pain today. So everybody, please send some send some prayers, good thoughts, positive vibes, and some love to Queen Comics Life, please. And Mid Iowa Gamers here. What's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. and you just finished dinner and you're getting ready to play either Splendor or Settlers of Catan. I've played Settlers of Catan twice, and I hated it because although I understood the rules, I was playing with people that definitely they formed their alliances before we sat down at the table to play. And so yeah, screw Settlers of Catan. And then White Devil, did I get White Devil Otaku already? Yes, I did. Okay. The Gorilla Mar is here over on YouTube. What's up, guys? What's up, Gorilla Mar? Good to see you, man. Thank you for coming back week after week. It's been good having you over here. Good to see that there's more people that are finding at least this show, and coming on over and hanging out every Sunday for the last few weeks. I appreciate you being here, Gorilla Mar. Snooty Mim says this intro is real nice. Oh, you mean with the epic music? Yeah, I generated that last, I think, a week ago. I actually had two versions of it. One that I was going to play at the beginning and one that I was going to play at the end. But as I kept listening to one of the two versions over and over again, it just didn't fit. But this one definitely gave that like kind of almost heroic, epic comic book type of feel. So I said, screw it, we'll just go with this one only. Where are we? So we said hi to everybody in the chat. We thanked Snooty for the 20. And so before we get going, I just want to let everybody know. So as many people have probably been seeing, whether it's on my X or just across X in general, or for people that are watching on Rumble, Rumble has, because I myself and Queen Comics Wife are part of the Rumble Creator Program, and they kind of out of the blue dropped a new requirement on people in the Creator Program for this month, and it is to do 5 ad reads, at least minimum 5 ad reads during their live streams. Queen Comics Wife and I at first were very, very adamant against it, no matter what. As took the last couple of days to think about it, you know what? I understand Rumble needs to get their advertising money. That's how platforms like Rumble and YouTube and all that exist, is mostly through advertising money. I get that, and it's a deal that they have with companies that want to advertise with them. Use the creators that are in the creator program to do live ad reads. I get that. Part of the problem is there are some ad reads here from some companies and some products that are definitely do not seem to be on the up and up. And there are some that are, and part of the problem with that is I would maybe at least consider doing ad reads for those, because I mean at first I was like, oh, sell out, nope, not doing it, not selling out for nothing, no matter what. But I mean, people were telling me about some of the other ad reads that they were able to see, because each creator is seeing different ad reads in their Rumble, in their own personal Rumble platform when they sign in. The ones that I'm seeing, except for one for a float tube, whatever that is, for fishermen out there that know what that is. I don't know if I'm currently right now, because I have 12 people watching, I'm able to read it. I don't know if I'm going to or not, because I don't fish. I don't know. Maybe tomorrow when I play Pokemon, I'll get the old rod out and I'll start fishing for Magikarp. And then if I have enough people watching, maybe I'll do that. But like, I'm still kind of on the fence in terms of how I feel about this whole ad read thing. But it's definitely this flute tube for fishing is definitely not appropriate for tonight's stream, because we're strictly talking comics. There's nothing involving fishing going on here, so we're not going to read it. But I just wanted to kind of let everybody know what was going on with that, in case you were wondering, seeing me post on X about stuff like that. It's been frustrating, definitely, to say the least, as I've been processing my thoughts about this and talking with others about this that are in the Rumble Creator Program and whatnot. I don't know. Part of the problem is that the ads are supposed to change on a daily basis, or at least that was the understanding. Mine have not changed for the last 3 days now. Because there's like one for coffee, there's one for Rumble Premium. Just read an ad for Rumble Premium real quick. There's one for a game controller company. There's one for a gaming chair company. Apparently, like different stuff out there. I want to be able to go through and see exactly what companies are involved in this live ad read program, so this way I can make informed decisions on what I'm going to want to talk about to people. And if it's something that I feel like I would buy if I was in the position to, I will then maybe not even definitely, just maybe talk about it with you guys watching. But and White Devil Otaku asked, do you get paid for the ad reads? Yes, but like I have one available right now because there's 12 people watching on Rumble and I need a minimum of 10 watching to read it. It's 7 cents. And even then, I don't care about that. But in order to qualify to get the payout for the Rumble program for the month of August, at the end of August when August is over, I have to complete 5 live ad reads, which now they've kind of changed their tune on some of the criteria for it. Now you could do a pre-recorded video when previously they were saying you can't. So I don't know. But my biggest thing is I only have the same 4 ads to look at right now, and or 5 to look at right now, and 4 of them are definitely not on the up and up, and I'm not going to read scam shit to you guys. But this fishing thing, I don't fish. Like I said, if I was playing it tomorrow, if I'm playing Pokemon and I get 10 ad reads, I may just go and start fishing for Magikarp and like kind of very tongue in cheek read the ad, maybe, and just have fun with it at that point. But I'm not seeing this rotating door of ads that everybody is saying that they're able to see, and that they have different ads showing up every day. So um so yeah, but I just wanted to kind of get my thoughts. So I definitely have mixed feelings on that. Rumble definitely did not handle the rollout of this criteria for the creator program well at all. They shadow dropped it in the middle of the night on after midnight on Thursday into Friday to start the month. People knew about the live ad reads because it was an optional thing that people could do with Rumble, but nobody was even aware that it was going to be made a requirement for the creator program over there until August 1st hit, which was Friday. And the start of the new month when everybody saw it was in their dashboard, because there's a dashboard that we could see with the metrics we need to hit for the month in order to qualify for the payout for the month and all that stuff, blah, 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 whatever. Like I said, even if I can see all the ads for even some of the companies that are on the up and up and the products that they offer, I'm still kind of on the fence. I don't know how I feel about just reading it, reading ads to you guys, trying to sell you guys on stuff that I've never used. I could do all the research in the world. If it seems like it's all right, maybe I would do it, but I don't know. I really don't know. But I wanted to get that addressed and out of the way, just to start the show. I'm not going to be doing any ad reads tonight because, like I said, I got one that I can do. It's for fishing equipment. And this is not a fishing channel. This is not a boating channel either, as Panda Sub, my guest, Panda Sub 2000 Phoenix, my guest from Thursday on Talking Shop, he jokes his gaming channel is also the greatest boating channel, which it is, by the way. Go check it out. But no, I'm not gonna be reading that tonight. We're here to talk about comics. We're here to talk about new comic books and have a good time. I'm not gonna take time out of your guys' night and take away from the fun of the stream to talk about fishing equipment. So, but yeah, I wanted to kind of just quickly share my thoughts on something. I have a whole bunch more thoughts, and I was definitely fuming over the last few days about all this. But I mean, at the end of the day, though, Rumble is not a perfect platform, and people are not perfect. I prefer the platform more than the people because people just in general have proven to suck. Except for Queen Comics Life and my kids, I suck. I know I do as a person, but the platform in and of itself, although it has a lot of work to do in improving, I I still am thankful that this platform exists, even if I weren't to be part of the creator program anymore, if I weren't to qualify for the payout, whatever. My opinion on that wouldn't change, just because like Rumble doesn't pull the bullshit that YouTube does. Rumble doesn't have the stringent copyright claims and strike system and all that crap. Like, you can get away with having a little more fun here, doing some more stuff, saying what you want for the most part. Like, it's all well and good. So even if I don't agree with what's going on with the creator program and the live ad reads and everything, and if I end up deciding not to do it all and saying screw it, it's my soul was not worth the money. If that's how I end up feeling about it, I'm still going to stream here to Rumble, though. I'm still going to put content on Rumble. It's still a platform that has a lot of potential, and it's doing overall. The platform is a good place for people to be. And I'll leave it at that. I'm not going to talk about the actual business side of it and all that stuff because I have different thoughts, but that's not what I'm going to talk about. But I do see you guys in the chat, though. I do see you guys in the chat. I do see you guys talking, sharing some thoughts about this. So I'll go through that, and then we'll get it right into. After I go through that, we'll put a pin in that. We'll be done discussing all this with the ad read stuff and all that until the next opportunity comes around for me to possibly read one. Which again, like I said, I don't even know if I'm gonna do. But let me see what you guys have to say about this. I'm going to go through the chats real quick, and then we will get into the show and talk about the new books coming out for the week, and the pull list. We'll have the pull list. But let's get into this. Mid-hour so good. I would hate to have to come to PA to get you to. Queen Comics Life needing a rest. Yeah. Snooty said Rumble needs to step up their game. In more ways than one, but there are other ways that, like I said, I'm doing all right. I have okay views of the platform in other regards as well, though. So it's a mixed bag. Queen Comics Life said, I'm being serious. You should read the ad with a Jersey accent. Pretend to be me. Oh God, that's probably not going to happen. Snooty Mim says, now that YouTube is going to start purging more channels, Rumble needs to take advantage and help bring more people and content creators in, make things easier, not like this. Well, Snooty Mims, the thing about this is for like the creator program. So if you're familiar with Twitch terms, the partner program, like over on Twitch, that's what this is. This is like, we've entered into agreement with Rumble to be able to meet the metrics to get the payout and all that stuff, and yada yada yada, and stuff like that. So this is one of those things that if we want to get the guaranteed payout from Rumble, this is one of those requirements. At least for this month. They may change it depending upon because there's been pretty decent amount of backlash they've been getting in different regards to this. But at least for this month, this is one of those requirements that if we want to get the payout, we would have to meet it. I don't really know, but Rumble, people are monetized day one on Rumble. You could still get gifted subscriptions, which is memberships on YouTube, the equivalent of memberships on YouTube, and then Rumble rants, which is the equivalent of super chats. You can still get all that stuff on day one if you create a channel and become a creator on Rumble. So that's where Rumble is leaps and bounds ahead of YouTube and all these other platforms anyway. And their take is not as high, which is great. So, but yeah. Mid-Hour Gamer said, don't worry, ComixDad. I have a great resistance to commercials. I grew up in the 70s and the 80s. Yeah, man. Yeah, I hear you, brother. But I still don't. Mid-Hour Gamer says, read the damn fishy ad. I want to hear your ad read voice. How dare you deprive me of that? How dare you? Okay, so Mid-Hour Gamer, if I do end up reading this, you then have to go into Drunk 3PO's channel, Welcome to the Rebellion channel, tomorrow morning, and convince him to have me do an ad read for him on his channel. Because he does joking ad reads where people Rumble rant him and super chat him, and they say, oh, read this as if it's an ad read. So Mid-Iowa Gamer, I will make you a deal. You have to convince Jay to let me do a joke ad read on his channel if you like the ad read. If I do the ad read. How about that? White Devil Taco said, you've got to check out the Tommy Lee Jones Boss Coffee commercials from Japan. Yeah, sounds like I need to. What is it? Yes, read it. Well, Mid-Iowa Gamer, if you're still here, you let me know and then I'll read it. if you are down with the challenge I've put out to you with the what's it called, with the terms. If you accept my terms, I will read it. Jay's a hard sell with that stuff. Yeah, I know. That's why I put the challenge out to you. All right, screw it. You guys want to hear it? Screw it. All right, let's do it. This is definitely not the thing. So hold on, give me a second. That was the test banner. All right. So you want the fishy ad? Let's do the fishy ad. All right. We're gonna hit it. Do it on the right, and then here we go. Let's make sure it shows up. Is it showing up? Not even showing up. Why is it not showing up? Give me a second, guys. I gotta figure out why this ain't even showing up. Why is this not showing up? All right. Well, I guess we're not doing the ad read because there's something I need to. Because there's supposed to be a QR code showing up on the screen and it's not. So I guess we're not going to do the ad read. So I'm just going to hit cancel. Well, so much for that. Make sure you get the QR code in. Yeah, no, I know Mid Iowa. I pre-cropped it beforehand, but I guess it didn't like how I was doing it. I don't know, but I'll figure it out. I gotta play around with it, figure out. Maybe I'll do a test stream tomorrow and see if some people can come watch me for that, and I can just screw around with it live. But yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It didn't wanna work for me, and I don't know why. And for that, I apologize. But that's not what we're here to do anyway, though. We're not here to read ads. So let's get into the actual show. Let me start up my screen share. And then where is all my good stuff? Here it is. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. All right, there we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, before I start talking about the comics, always big shout out to League of Geek Comics or leagueofcomicgeeks.com. They also have a mobile app as well. They are not a sponsor. I am not doing an ad read for them. I just love their website. It's what I use for the show. It's what I use for my own personal comic book collecting and everything. To catalog my comics that I own. To figure out what is coming out, what I want to add to my own personal pull list, and obviously I'm using it here for the show for you guys as well. But our Ken Greg is here. What's up, Greg? And he says nothing but professionalism. You know it, man. You know it. But yeah, leagueofcomicgeeks.com. They also have an app, League of Comic Geeks. Go check it out if you have a comic collection and you've been meaning to find a way to catalog it, and just have everything kind of tip of your fingers, or on your computer instead of doing spreadsheets or just writing stuff down or whatever. Is the best way for me to go through and organize and catalog my comic collection and what I want to get. And also I can see, I think, upwards of like maybe 3 months out or so in terms of what new comics are coming. There was a fly in front of me. That's why I did that. But yeah, go check it out. But we do not have a very big pull list for myself for this week, because as you guys know, I add things to the pull list based on even if I'm not necessarily able to financially go out and grab it, it's things that I at least would grab if I could and would like to read. It's not a very big list across all publishers this week. As part of the reason why I took the time to talk about what I was talking about in the beginning of the show here as well. But it's just a quick overview. We'll be getting into the different publishers with all of these and seeing what other books are available. This is just what I have currently for my recommended pull list for the week. And I'll come back to this later if anybody wants to screenshot it or whatnot. Go ahead. But let's head on into the first one. This first one, we are at Dynamite Entertainment, Dynamite Publishing. Dynamite. I don't have anything on Dynamite as an actual pull list recommendation because I haven't read any of the titles, or at least any of these titles this week for Dynamite, because it's a lot of continuations of ongoing series. But I always like to highlight what Dynamite's doing, because they are doing a lot of like 60s, 70s, 80s nostalgia cartoon titles, IPs. So like they have Thundercats, they have Silverhawks, they have the Herculoids. This one over here, apparently there's an ongoing series of Thundercats and the Powerpuff Girls. Oh, excuse me. And then also Dynamite has Red Sonja, which the upcoming Red Sonja movie, Red Sonja should probably start selling a bit more. And then also early Red Sonja out of Marvel and stuff like that as well. Collectors will probably go seeking that. Gorilla Mar, I just saw your comment here in terms of it got lost in my list here to highlight the comments, but I have the chats open on this other monitor over here too. And Gorilla Mar said, and while you're fishing for new comics this week. Yo, should I just do that? Maybe I should. All right, hold on, guys. We're gonna do this live. We're gonna web source. Add this. All right, screw it. We're gonna do it. So Gorilla Mar definitely gave me the excellent segue. So let's hit it, and we'll do that. And there we go. All right, there we go. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we are going through and talking about new comics for this week. And as Gorilla Mar said, while you're out there fishing for new comics, uh, I have a little bit of something I want to tell you guys about from the people over at Cadis Sports. Uh, Pretty much, if you are ready to fish remote lakes or quiet rivers in total stealth mode, like some of your favorite comic book characters that may be able to go stealthy and invisible, check out the Nevada Fishing Float Tube from Cadis Sports. This U-shaped beast, like from the X-Men, but not exactly Beast from the X-Men, is built for serious fishing missions. Ultra stable, super maneuverable, much like Spider-Man as he's swinging around the city, and tough as nails like the Hulk, thanks to heavy-duty ripstop material and double-stitched seams. You get a padded backrest, oversized seat, 2 large gear pockets, rod holder, stripping apron, and even a dry fly patch. Everything you need to stay locked in and ready when the bite is on. Much like maybe Venom's bite or Jeff the Shark's bite. Really, really big bite force. But fluorescent accents keep you visible out on the water, and carry handles make it easy to haul in and out. Whether you're chasing bass in the shallows or hiking into alpine trout, the Nevada Float Tube is built for the job. Use code RUMBLE at checkout for 10% off your order today. That's cadasports.com. Get out there, stay light, and catch the big one. Just like you're out there catching that big comic book for your collection. There, we did it. Okay, I felt really, really terrible doing that. Going to play a game, will be lurking. Hi, Mid-Io Gamer. Thanks for lurking, brother. Hank McCoy, that's right. The Beast himself. We'll do it live. Gorilla Bar, thank you. Yes, thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you guys. Power Gang says, wipes tears away. My God. The best reading I've ever heard. The ultra best reading you've ever heard? I don't think so, because that goes to our boy Phoenix, but I will take second best. Gorilla Bar says, bravo, encore. Okay, fine. Okay, thank you. That's enough. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Anyway, let's get on with the show. Let's actually carry on now. But yeah, as I was saying with Dynamite Comics, bunch of nostalgia titles, bunch of nostalgia IPs. You can't really go wrong with reading any of them. The one that I have been reading that I've been enjoying is Space Ghost. Unfortunately, that is not coming up this week, but I do believe that is coming up next week, and we'll talk more about Space Ghost next week when that's one of the new books for, well, next week. But yeah, go check out any of these titles out of Dynamite. They all look fun. They all sound fun. I have read some just kind of summaries and spoilers about some of these ongoing titles. I do want to start reading them eventually. It's just not in the cards right now. Or else my pull list, because you can see how many of them there are, my pull list will be ridiculous and the queen will kill me because, money. Putinbot Gaming says, greeting humans, Putinbot Gaming. What's going on, man? Thank you so much for being here, brother. I appreciate you showing up. Let's see. Now, how come this is saying... Oh, okay, so hold on. All right, so now we... Wow, okay, so I had to do one ad read, and then now it gave me a whole shit ton of new ads. So, all right, maybe it was worth selling out on the one fishing equipment ad to unlock some of the others. God, that was so bad, though. I hope if they approve it, or if they don't approve it, I will not be surprised at all. That was rough. Okay, so we're piecing some of the puzzle together. I still have some mixed feelings about this for sure. But hey, we did it. We got through it. It was cringy, but we made it. Everybody came through in one piece. We're all right. Gorilla Bar said worth it. But anyway, so that was Dynamite. That's the books for Dynamite this week. Let's go on into Marvel. So Marvel, right off the bat, we got 2 titles that every time they come up, every month they've been coming up, I've been saying put them on the pull list because I've been reading them myself. Putinbot said, I wish I had the gaming controller ad on my stream. Well, guess what, man? When I did that fishing one, it actually just unlocked the aim controllers and the gaming chair and Rumble Premium. So I just flagged all 3 of those. So this way, when I'm doing some gaming streams, which I'm not primarily a gaming channel, but I have more gaming streams than the other stuff because it's a good way to kill some time. That's all. But so when I am doing some gaming, I may very well do those, but I gotta look into the product, I gotta look into the companies, all that stuff. You know how it goes, man. I'm gonna rest on my laurels. I'm not gonna just throw my ethics and morals away without reading and looking into any of these. But anyway, when they first started the ads, I did one back in the day, rating 1 star out of 5, baby. Nice, Greg. But yeah, anyway, so Ultimate Wolverine. I actually just got caught up with Ultimate Wolverine last night, and oh boy, it is awesome. Like I was already loving it before. I think what was it previously? I was only up through issue 3, so I read issues 4 through 7 last night. I wanted to get caught up on this. I've been saying for weeks that I'm going to be getting caught up on this. I finally did, and things are getting good. And I'm really curious what's going to be happening in this next issue because like I said, it just things have kind of got flipped upside down on their head, and we're at a point now in the story where we're going to start seeing some things out of Wolverine and start seeing we're in the next. This last issue started the next arc, so I don't know how many issues of this are going to go. Like Ultimate Spider-Man's ending after 24, so I don't know how many they're going to do with this. Maybe not a whole 24, maybe like 16 or something. But things are definitely going to be ramping up in the next issue and probably the issue after that pretty fast. But so go check out Ultimate Wolverine, Ultimate X-Men. I'm not gonna lie, I still haven't gotten caught up on it. I'm still only 2 issues in on that because I've been wanting to catch up on Ultimate Wolverine. And I've been reading some indie stuff that's come in and stuff like that. But I will get to it. But in the meantime, though, I liked the 2 episodes of Ultimate X-Men that I read, so that's why I keep recommending it for the pull list. But I will get caught up on it. But you guys go check it out. Just kind of at your leisure. Considering I'm not caught up on it, I'm taking my leisure to get caught up on it. So, but pretty much everything else here, I mean, it's Marvel, it's Disney Marvel. We're not seeing much of a change from anything for the most part, at least in terms of the main storylines and the Prime 616 universe from the editors in chief and most of the writers there at Marvel. So, like, The Amazing Spider-Man #9, no, we're gonna trash box that because that's been awful. One World Under Doom, I don't care. Captain America #2, I did not read the first Captain America of this new run. I've heard it's a mixed bag. So I'm not going to just say trash box this, but I do want to get around to, I think this week I'm going to read that issue #1 just this way I can make some kind of determination on it. So this way next month when this book comes back around, I can actually give you guys a fair assessment in terms of whether I think it's worth picking up or not. Daredevil, I think people are just, tired of Daredevil now because of how they completely screwed up that Daredevil Born Again series. They had the blueprints perfected with the Netflix series, and then they took it and threw it all away. So, okay, cool. All New Venom #9. Apparently, because I haven't read it yet because it's coming up on Wednesday. Either in the last issue in #8, because I don't read All New Venom because Mary Jane as New Venom, and then that cuck Paul from the last volume of Amazing Spider-Man is still around and everything. I'm not for it. Al Ewing is the writer for All New Venom. He's not my favorite writer. I kind of think of him as kind of a bore in terms of just what he writes. That's just me personally. But the reason why I bring all that up is because, and we're going to come on over to here, I saw this. Millennium Milestone Presents, who's a friend of the channel. He has a channel over on YouTube. Go check him out. He posted this and he said, yes, hell just froze over. And it's MJ with this cuck Paul, man bun soy boy Paul. It says, I'm sorry, Paul. I'm breaking up with you. Yes, good God. I hope this is real. Yeah. And then Paul just goes away and dies in the ether of the Marvel Universe, so we never see him again. Wonderful. But if that is the case, and if Al Ewing does did in fact write Mary Jane to break up with this cuck soy boy self-insertion Paul, then I may very well give All New Venom a shot moving forward. Because everybody hates that fucking character. But for the time being, though, All New Venom number 9 is still a trash box recommendation until I see that proves to be true. But the Helverine number 9, I am gonna put this on the pull list recommendation. This is one of those where I've told you guys that I would love to start reading this. It's just I have so much I need to catch up on. I really do, especially because I have what is it? Here, let me do this. Let me do a thing real quick. Especially because I have this I need to start reading. The Action Bible that I posted about last night on X. I have this I need to read. Transformers the manga. I have a giant ass. Here, hold on. I don't know if you guys can see it or not. Good thing I cleaned the room. Good thing we cleaned the room today. Down there on the bottom of that table, that really thick white bulk square thing, that is Transformers. That is the Transformers Collection Omnibus number 1 of the original run of Transformers comics from Marvel, from issues number 1 to 46. I have to read that. And then I have to read my own personal pull list stuff that comes out every week. So I will get to Helverine at some point. Just like I said, I will get caught up on Ultimate X-Men. But I hear Helverine is awesome, so I will absolutely put it on my pull list recommendation. And then once I actually read it, because I do hear it is good, I hear from people it's a good read. It's an awesome, really cool read. Once I actually read it myself, I will then reevaluate, and if I need to, I will then say, hey, you know what, my bad, I finally got around to reading it, it's crap. Or I'll say, hey, you know what, I finally got around to reading it, all the hype was worth it. But anyway, Star Wars, dead to me. Superior Avengers, that's Killmonger kissing a dude. Fuck that, get that out of my face. Gwenpool is overplayed and dumb. Wolverines and Deadpools. There's only one Deadpool and one Wolverine as far as I'm concerned. Get them out of my mind. Get them out of here. Laurie Kinney is Wolverine and whatever other Deadpool's palling around with. This is an interesting one. I'm going to pull this one up. I am absolutely going to be grabbing this. This is Wolverine by Chris Claremont. Chris Claremont is arguably the best writer of the X-Men ever. And what this is this is just a reprinting of Marvel Paragon's collection, Chris Claremont Wolverine number 1. So it's just going to be retelling a story that was only printed in a limited run, probably about 30 years ago, I think, if I had to guess. But they're reprinting it and making it widely available for everybody. So like I said, Chris Claremont is arguably the best person to have the best guy to have ever written the X-Men. So definitely I will be going out of my way to pick this up. Absolutely, to have, even though it's reprinting an old story, it's still a piece of comic book history by one of the best comic book writers of the time to have in your hand, to have part of your collection. But I see more people are coming in. Putinbot said, okay, I'm making dinner, I'll be lurking. Hey, I appreciate you being here, hanging out, man. This I get a little caught up in my thoughts about talking about the comics and all that stuff. So unfortunately, this show I'm not as attentive to the chat every once in a while, depending upon if I go on like a long rant like I did about All New Venom. And then also we were doing the ad stuff and talking about all that and everything. But I do appreciate you being here, brother. Snooty Mim said MCU and DCU is the opposite of the Midas touch. Yeah. I mean, well, I personally liked Gunn's Superman. So I mean, it wasn't perfect. I wrote a review on criticlist.com about it. You guys can check it out over there. But I did not hate it. It was a fun comic book superhero movie, and it was more or less what I would have wanted out of a Superman movie for the most part. Lex Luthor could have been written better, but outside of that, I didn't really have too many complaints. I wouldn't say it was a perfect movie, but it was good. And then Sergeant Wilkie is here dancing bananas. Yeah, peanut butter jelly time. Let's go, Sergeant Wilkie. What's going on, dude? It says the last comic I was collecting was Savage Avengers. Okay. Yeah, Savage Avengers. I didn't read Savage Avengers, but Savage Wolverine came out last week, I believe. So if you like the Savage Avengers, go check out Savage Wolverine. And and then you did get Eric July ISOM. Were you at that? What was it? Bell County Comic Con this past weekend, or this weekend, Wilkie? Where you picked that up at? Because I mean, overall, the Rippaverse is really cool concept, decent business. Because they're just kind of going out there doing the indie thing, doing their own thing, which is great. Kudos to them. And there are titles there I absolutely love. I love the Horseman, Zaylan. I love Zaylan. Zaylan is awesome. Isom is one of the is arguably the weakest title at the Rippaverse in my mind. And then there are a couple other titles that are like, they're not terrible, but they're not anything to like write home about either. They're enjoyable for what they are. And then you have a couple that are just awesome and fantastic. Like I said, Chuck's and then the Great War Separation, also Rippaverse, is awesome. And pretty much anything Chuck Dixon writes for the Rippaverse for some reason is just mwah. It's just chef's kiss. It's awesome. I have a great time reading it every time. You had to order it from Rippaverse. Okay. Oh, you ordered the signed graded one. Okay. Gotcha. I do have ISOM 3 just because, like, ISOM 1, I read it. I wanted to at least give it a chance. They announced ISOM 2. I got that. It was better than ISOM 1. So I was like, all right, you know what? ISOM 3, let's see how Eric July decides to close out this first story arc for his flagship character. I haven't read it yet. Partially because I'm kind of nervous about what I'm going to get inside in terms of quality. Because like I said, ISOM is a mixed bag between ISOM number 1 and ISOM number 2. But who knows? Once I do get around to it, though, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, Marvel, that's pretty much it for Marvel. You got Marvel Rivals number 1, focusing on the Hellfire Gala. If you've been liking the Marvel Rivals one-shot titles, you'll probably like this. I've not been a super huge fan of them. The first one was all right. The next one that they did with Peach Momoko doing the art for that one, it was okay. Again, it was kind of a hit or miss for me with the Marvel Rivals stuff. It's cool that they're kind of they're doing stuff that's kind of tying into building the lore around what's going on in the actual game. But I don't know, man. It's not the worst thing I've read out of Marvel for sure. And then this stuff down here is just reprints of Spider-Man, Wolverine 2, Spider-Man, and Predator 3. So, but yeah, we're going to move on though. Finally, we're going to move on to DC Comics. Not a whole lot coming out of DC this week. One thing that there is coming out of DC that I always recommend is Absolute Superman. I've started reading more of it. I'm still not caught up, but instead of having read the first 2 issues, I'm now up to issue 4. So that means I read issue 3 and I started reading issue 4. And Absolute Superman, I'm enjoying Absolute Superman. I'm having a lot of fun reading it. I'm sitting there and it's got my attention. So Absolute Superman is still going to continue to be on the pull list recommendation until I get to an issue I don't like. Absolute Green Lantern, on the other hand, I have not been recommending Absolute Green Lantern, just because I did read the first issue of that. I was not a fan, and there's some stuff in it that I'm not going to go into details, but there's just stuff in it. Let me put it this way. Al Ewing is the writer of Absolute Green Lantern. Al Ewing is writing all new Venom with Mary Jane as Venom. Do I need to say more? I'm not liking all new Venom, and it's more of Al Ewing kind of writing in the way that Al Ewing does and telling a story the way that Al Ewing tells it. And so it's not connecting with me. I'm not enjoying it. I'm not having a good time with that one. Sergeant Wilkie says, you have a go, but sadly, I can't use the spoon for the Rumble reasons, but I need to eat. What? You can't use the spoon? The spoon is in there. It's right here. See? It's right there, brother. Oh, that's right, ladies and gentlemen, over on Rumble, there is a very special emote that Sergeant Wilkie, courtesy of Sergeant Wilkie, the Spoon of the Queen, I have called it, because it is Queen Comics Wife's wood spoon. But Wilkie, have a great stream, brother. I appreciate you stopping by, man. As always, thank you so much for being here, dude. I appreciate you constantly. Sergeant Wilkie's a good dude. Go check out Sergeant Wilkie. Go check out Putinbot Gaming. Go check out Power Keg Greg. go check out White Devil Otaku. Go check out all these channels. They're over on Rumble. Go show him some love. And Sergeant Wilkie's also on YouTube. He promotes his Rumble channel a lot more, but just go show him some love on the YouTube side too. YouTube it has a lot of problems. It's gonna be forcing a lot of people out. Age verification bullshit, and already they're still pulling censorship shenanigans and nonsense like that. But until shit truly hits the fan over there and everybody's pretty much forced off the platform, uh, even if it's not your primary platform, just head on over there and show Wilkie some love over there on YouTube as well. But anyway, so yeah, and then the rest of this, the DC stuff, as I've said literally every week that I've been doing this show, I'm not a big DC head. I'm not. I don't read DC books. I just don't. I want to start reading more. That's why I'm liking this absolute series, this absolute universe with absolute Superman, absolute Wonder Woman, absolute Flash, absolute Batman. We're getting absolute Green Arrow in the new year. The only one I'm not liking is Absolute Green Lantern. But outside of that one, I'm liking this Absolute universe, and it's drawing me in to want to read more DC stuff. So up until pretty much that started, I was more or less kind of I enjoyed DC on television and in video games than I did in comic books. But like I said, this is the Absolute universe. The Absolute titles are a great way for getting new readers involved into what DC's got going on. So I can't knock them for that. But other than that, I don't really have too much to say about the rest of this stuff. We got reprints of Detective Comics number 880 down here, which they're facsimile editions. So they're direct one-to-one reprints. The facsimile editions, no matter what company it is, they're always cool. It's always a cool piece because usually they're iconic issues. Or key issues of certain titles. So always go out. I always recommend to go out and pick up the facsimile editions of whatever it is that Marvel or DC or whoever is putting out there. So go pick up Detective Comics 880 if you want to have a rare piece of comic book history in your hand at an affordable price. But all right, let's move on to the next publisher. We have Boom Studios. That's BOOM exclamation point Studios. There are 2 titles this week out of Boom Studios. Most notably, something is Unaliving the Children, number 43. This is a really cool title. This is a really cool franchise. I'm about 10 issues behind, but I was up to date on this until about a year ago. So basically, for anybody that doesn't know what this is, I'll just say it, screw it. Something is killing the children. So what this is that they're mostly children can see the things that go bump in the night, and they feed on them, and the young ones are the only ones that can see these monsters that are very real and very dangerous, except for a select number of people throughout the world that are all part of this larger organization that then breaks down into like families and houses and all that stuff. But at its core, it's a basically international organization of people that are able to see these creatures after they have become adults. And so they go out into the world and fight these monsters and stop them from doing what they do, which is, eating the children. But it's not just monster hunting. There's also internal struggles within the organization. Our main character, last I was reading, was actually on the outs, and she's being hunted by somebody within the organization who actually was using a monster to hunt her down, which is really cool. So go check out Something is Killing the Children. There's trade paperbacks collecting every 6 issues out there available. Go check it out. James Tynion IV. He's a great horror writer in comics, and I've been enjoying Something's Killing the Children for the last 2.5 years that I was reading it, or almost 3 years that I was reading it, until, like I said, I haven't read it. I haven't kept up with any of the new issues in about the last 10 months, maybe. But go check that out. And then the other one that I'm going to recommend this week out of Boom Studios is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, number 1. And so the reason why I'm recommending this is because this is tying into the side-scroller fighter action arcade style game Power Rangers Rita's Rewind that came out last year. And it's fun. It's it's like the typical arcade side-scroller. But it's a lot of fun, but with Power Rangers. It's a lot of fun. So I've played it a couple of times. I've enjoyed playing that. So I'm gonna go pick up this and look into it. Power Rangers Prime, I'm not recommending because I haven't read Power Rangers Prime yet. I know because it's got VR Troopers now that's spinned off from it. I have to read VR Troopers number 1, but in order to read that, I have to figure out what's going on in Power Rangers Prime because they get introduced, I think, like issue 6 of Power Rangers Prime. But the reason why I'm kind of hesitant about moving forward past the issue that they introduced the VR Troopers is because that Green Ranger is a female Green Ranger, and it's not just that it's female, but it's apparently Rita Repulsa. So I need to go and read and figure out what the hell they did to have one of the Power Rangers' most iconic villains become a Power Ranger, and not just a Power Ranger, but the Green Ranger. So it's I don't know. I gotta see what the reasoning is behind that. So I gotta go and get caught up on that series before I can start recommending it moving forward, because that is definitely suspect to me. um, but let's see. All right, so that's Boom Studios. Moving on, Image Comics. Image Comics is my favorite comic book publisher from last year, or actually for the last almost 2 years, because of what they've been doing with the Transformers, and also because of a 6-issue title that happened last year that's getting a second volume later this year, called Rook Exodus. Neither one of those titles are on this on this list for this week, but there is one title out of Image Comics that's on here that I've also been enjoying for the last several years, and that's Radiant Black. Radiant Black is part of a universe called the Massive Verse, which is headed by Kyle Higgins, who's done a lot of work for DC and Marvel in the past, and Kyle Higgins is still currently writing for DC to some extent, I believe. But this is his kind of shared superhero universe at Image Comics, and the first 30 some odd issues were about our main characters trying to stop a giant alien invasion that ends up being the source, or that are from a race of giant robot aliens that are where the source of their power comes from. That thread is over for the last four issues. We've kind of been dealing with the fallout of some stuff that happens at the end of that story arc, and then also on top of that, our main character is trying to figure out how to be just like a traditional superhero now that there's not this existential threat of giant world destroying robots coming his way. So it's been interesting to read. I've been enjoying this second arc, and we're gonna find out something about what happened, as you could read here. Returns Radiant Black to the long life of Radiant Yellow, and so obviously there's Radiant Yellow. That was a character that kind of disappeared at the end of the big event that happened around issue 30 or so. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen with Radiant Yellow, where he's been, what's been going on with him, um, and all that. So definitely go out there, go pick up Radiant Black 36. That's pretty much the only book from Image Comics this week that I can recommend. Not that the rest of them are bad. I have no interest. I haven't read any about them. I haven't looked into them, so I don't know anything. But Mad Cave Studios is going to be our last publisher of the night. And the reason why I'm saying it's our last publisher, because there's not a whole lot of books coming out this week across all the different publishers, but also I have various like comic book related news and stuff I'd like to talk to you guys about too. But let's get into Mad Cave Studios. So Mad Cave Studios has been following the way of Dynamite, where they have been starting to do some nostalgia IPs as some of their comic books. So you have Gotcha Man, you have Dick Tracy. I haven't read these. I just found out that the Dick Tracy and the Gotcha Man series actually even existed. I just found out the other day when I was just seeing what was coming for this week for the show. So I definitely will be checking those out, because especially Dick Tracy, it's good old fashioned back in the days of black and white television and when they're called talkies. Dick Tracy, good old fashioned detective work, black and white detective work. But the reason why I have Mad Cave Studios pulled up this week though is for this title right here. Don't Forget Your Briefcase. Last month, I read the description of it. It sounded interesting. I recommended it, and I ended up reading it. And you know what? I will recommend it moving forward. So basically, in the first issue, without spoiling a whole lot of stuff, by the end of the book, a teenage high school kid ends up mistakenly getting his hands on the United States presidential nuclear football. And there's some stuff that goes with that, and we find out some things about this kid and his family, and there's other stuff that happens as well, that ends up leading to this event. But it was a little bit of a slug moving through that issue. But once I got into the last like 8 pages of it, I was hooked, and I am excited to see what happens next. So Mad Cave Studios, Don't Forget Your Briefcase #2. Let put that on your pull list. We're pull list recommending that as well. So now, before we get into comic book news, I do just want to share some cool stuff with you guys. That means I'm going to have to turn off my background again. Let me turn off my back. So there are some books, and I talked about a couple of these. If anybody watched Talk and Shop with my guest Phoenix of Panda Sub 2000 and of Side Scrollers podcast on Thursday, if you didn't catch the show when we're done tonight, head back over. It was this past Thursday, so just a few days ago. Go watch that show. It was great. It was a great time. Great interview with Phoenix. Phoenix is a great guy, and we had a lot of fun. But since we were talking about Mad Cave with the how they're into the nostalgia IPs as well. Last week I mentioned Street Racer #1 by Mad Cave. I picked it up obviously because it's in my hands, and I read it, and I think Mad Cave has a home run on their hands with this. And I just want to open it up just a little bit, just show you guys some of the art inside. You got the Mach 5, you got Speed. He's a little more he's not the typical Speed Racer design, but I mean it works, and I absolutely loved this. So just to double down on what I said last week with this, go pick this up, Speed Racer #1 out of Mad Cave Studios. Another thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, Ultimate Spider-Man #19, which came out last week. Just to give a tiny spoiler, because there was something in here that I was not expecting that absolutely, I mean, not that I wasn't expecting it, but I had suspicions, but I just wasn't actually expecting it to happen. It was more I had a theory, and then it blew my mind when that theory came true. Gorilla Mar said, "Gotta go, Dad lifetime. We'll catch up on the VOD later. Have a great night." Gorilla Mar, thank you so much for being here, man. I appreciate you, brother. And yeah, catch up later. And then go check out all the other good stuff too. But everybody, please hit that like button on your way out if you're on your way out, or if you're lurking. Hit the follow button if you're not following the channel on Rumble. Hit the subscribe over on YouTube. We're on that push to 300 here on Rumble, and since we hit 350 on YouTube, we're on that push to that sacred 500 number. Because then we can get to 500, we can get the watch hours up, and then we can set and forget on YouTube. Uh, but anyway, amazing Ultimate Spider-Man #19. Who does that look like, folks? And the design is bad ass. It's just awesome design. Mark Cicchetto has been doing a wonderful job with the art in this series from Go. Him and Jonathan Hickman have been doing a fantastic job. That's why I'm so sad that it's going to end after issue 24. But as they say, all good things must come to an end. And then the other thing I just want to share with you guys real quick is I know you got a lot of you guys, if you follow me on X, you probably saw this over the last few days, but this is indie book by comic book artist who does cover art for a lot of indie stuff, but he's also a self-published artist as well, and created his own comic book, but also he does a lot of artwork for DC currently, and that is V. Ken Marion. And this is his book that he co-authored and did all the art for himself, called Battle Chronicle Soul Striker. If you want to, if you want to see kind of just my general thoughts about it, it was great. But basically, this is like this is a sci-fi setting. He does a great job setting up the world building and getting to know all the main players that are involved in this. And the bad guys, the good guys, all that stuff, and setting up kind of what the conflict's going to be in for the future moving forward. Very well written. The pacing was very good, and the art is just fantastic. And and his team that did the colors did a great job. But obviously, it all starts at the line work. It all starts at the actual artwork. That's just V. Ken Marion, and I don't know if this is clear enough to you guys or not, but V. Ken Marion through and through. He has come to be one of my favorite current working comic book artists. And he's actually going to be on Talk and Shop in December, so that's also exciting. That's going to be fun. So come on by and check out not just Talk, but come check out Talk and Shop every other Thursday here on the ComixDad channel. Oh, excuse me, guys. And then before we get into some more, because like I said, that's it for talking about the comics. Now we have some comic book news and some comic book related news. But before we do, I think I'm gonna try another ad read. Because let's see, what do we got available here? Let's see. No, we're not gonna do that. We're not going to do that. What is this? No, we're not going to do that. There's a lot of like kind of weird looking medicine and exercise stuff and everything. But I'm trying to see if there's something all right, you know what? We'll do this. We'll do this. We got from the same company that we had that fishing flute. They have a cooler apparently. So let's move over to my segment in the studio here that I call BS ad reads. And let's give this one a try. Let's give it a try. Is it a cooler? I think it was a cooler. Yeah, it's cooler. Here we go. And accept and start. Offer does not match billing earnings. What? Offer does not match billing earnings. What does that mean? What does that mean? Why can't I read you? Maybe I can only read one per stream. I don't know. Whatever. Never mind. We're just gonna move on then. That's totally fine with me. I was going on a whim, trying to have some fun. Let's do another just bullshit ad read, but it doesn't want to do it, so I'm okay with that too. But anyway, we have some comic book film related news. So this is just something I saw on X. I just wanted to comment on this. Marvel is in quote no sense of urgency on developing Blade or a new Deadpool film. Deadpool and Wolverine, it was fun. I will not say it was my favorite Deadpool film, but I enjoyed it. But yeah, I mean, I think Deadpool is at a point where if they can't recapture the charm and the energy of that very first one from what 10 years ago at this point, more over 10 years ago at this point, if they can't do that, then there's no point in doing another Deadpool movie in my mind. And Blade, it's not hard. I don't know why they're dragging their feet on Blade. It's the brother is half vampire and he walks around with a katana and guns and he kills vampires. Just it's simple. We don't need anything more than that. Just give us that damn movie. Honestly, give us old Wesley Snipes. He was awesome in Deadpool and Wolverine. He still got it. Just give us more Wesley Snipes Blade. I'd be fine with that. But anyway, and then we got this jackhole here. Pedro Pascal. Hold on one second, because we said his name. Pedro Pascal.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay.
Pedro Pascal says, quote, "It's delicious," end quote, and quote, "loads of fun," quote, facing off against Robert Downey Jr. in Avengers Doomsday, because, you know, Robert Downey Jr., he was Iron Man, he's back as Doomsday because Marvel Studios doesn't know what the fuck to do other than bring back one of their most popular actors. But Pedro Pascal was quoted as saying, "He's Daddy Doomsday to all of us." And this is what I hear when I read that.
Look, this is all doesn't matter. Let's get gay already.
That's what I hear coming out of Pedro's mouth when I read that quote from him. But Pedro Pascal, Fantastic Four is had a great, or not great, but had a decent opening weekend last week. Huge drop off this week, and honestly, I think part of it is because it was just kind of, I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna be watching it this week at some point. Don't ask me how. I'm gonna be seeing it in the theaters. But it was an okay, from what I've been seeing, a lot of people are saying like it was okay, it was good, like it wasn't anything that has people super excited about the future of Marvel movies or anything. But like everybody seems to be a consensus though that Pedro Pascal was arguably the worst part of the damn movie. I mean, he's not super awful, but he just existed. He wasn't a good Reed Richards is kind of the overall general consensus on him, and that kind of makes sense because I think everybody is also just sick and fucking tired of Pedro Pascal. Jose Taco's here, says hi. What's up, Jose Taco? How are you, brother? It's good to see you, man. Thank you for being here, dude. I appreciate you. I appreciate you showing up, brother. But yeah. Anyway, we're moving on. We've only got a couple more things, and then we'll close out the night. Yeah, because I've got a couple articles here, just breeze through real quick. But yeah, Tom Holland as Spider-Man's coming back for Spider-Man Brand New Day. We're getting Frank Castle back. The Punisher's going to be in this. We got to see how it plays out. Any interaction, or not any, but most interactions between the Punisher and Spider-Man, I've always enjoyed in comics, and even the couple of times they've interacted in like animated shows, I've enjoyed it. But I just, again, we're talking Marvel Studios involvement here. We're talking Kevin Feige involvement here. So everything's got to be with a grain of salt. But just to tie into that, here's John Bernthal filming filming the Punisher special. So this is not filming for him for Brand New Day, but this is the Punisher special event that they're going to be putting, I'm assuming, direct to Disney Plus. He's still got it. He's still got that kind of, although that last step there when he swung the bat at the end, doing like almost an uppercut with it. Yeah, I don't know what that step was. That was weird. But overall, I mean, the choreography seems all right. He's still fighting like he was as Punisher. So hopefully good things for that. But this is heartwarming though. Todd Holland on location filming for Spider-Man Brand New Day. And this is actually the suit that we're getting to, by the way, which is, hold on. This is the suit that we're getting also in this upcoming Spider-Man movie, which I'm super excited about because that is probably the most comic book accurate Spider-Man suit that we have gotten in any of the Spider-Man movies, even going back to the same Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man movies. So I'm super excited about that. But also, Tom Holland's taking time out of his day, taking time out of filming to just go and interact with fans that are there. And honestly, I think this is what Marvel Studios and what Marvel movies need is just PR of this. Just their actors being regular fucking people and not looking like complete nut jobs and weirdos and saying all this politically charged stupid bullshit and whatnot. Like, just show up, do your job, be an entertainer, and look at this. He took a picture with a kid that was there dressed as Spider-Man. I mean, that warms my heart, and I think honestly, Tom Holland's not necessarily my favorite Spider-Man in terms of his performances and everything, but he does a good job. But this right here makes him my favorite Spider-Man actor because it's just he's taken the time to just interact with the fans, interact with people that love Spider-Man, and Tom Holland loves Spider-Man too, and he loves being Spider-Man. And that's what we need. And we just need to see more stuff like this from a lot of the actors involved in Marvel projects. Because it's everybody's sick and fucking tired of people like Pedro Pascal. Really is. Jose Taco says the spider logo in the back is not classic Spider from the comics. That's my only complaint. No, I agree with you, but it's still just in terms of the lines, the shades of blue, the shades of red, it is still the most comic. I didn't say it was 1-for-1 perfect, but I did say that it is the most accurate representation of the classic Spider-Man suit that we have gotten in the movies. So I guess maybe let me reword it that way then, I guess. But no, yes, the logo on the back, I mean, that was something in the animated series in the 90s that they did. But even then, it looked different than that. That kind of looks like it's similar to the logo from, I don't know, from the Marvel Sony game, I think, maybe. But the front spider logo has always been the same color in the comics. Yeah, it was always black because the lines of the webbing on the suit have always been black as well, and so that's it was always black on the front. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, it was. But the back logo aside, this is still the closest representation that we've gotten to the original Spider-Man, to the original Spider-Man suit, and I'm quite all right with that. But regardless, besides the suit, Tom Holland's interacting with the fans. He made this kid's life probably by doing this with him. The kid got to meet fucking Spider-Man. I want to meet fucking Spider-Man. I want to meet Peter Parker and take pictures with Spider-Man and everything. Like, but this is what Marvel needs. This is what Marvel Studios needs. Kevin Feige needs to step down. They need to get rid of Pedro Pascal right away. They need to get rid of all the nut jobs that are too busy not calling the fans racists and bigots and fascists and all that shit, and just appreciate the fans, because without the fans, Marvel Studios is already on the verge, on the not on the verge, but they're on the steady and steep downslide into possibly going bankrupt. I mean, they have that Disney money to back them, but the Disney proper, they're only going to take so much of it probably until they finally decide to pull the plug, and then maybe just wait and reset. Just get rid of, or just sell it off altogether. Who knows? Part of me is crossing my fingers, hoping they'll just sell off Marvel proper eventually one day. I don't think that'll happen, but Kevin Feige needs to go, and we need a break from Marvel movies for a while. Get a new creative team in there. Get people in there that actually care about the fucking comics. Because that's the other thing. Kevin Feige and his executives and his directors and his head script writers and producers and all that have all been caught saying, both behind the scenes and on record, for saying that they don't read the comics. They don't know anything about the comics. They just want to make their own story. And that's not what people want. People want some of their favorite comic book stories told. And maybe told a little bit differently, possibly, but they want existing stories to be told. They don't want new stupid bullshit. That's all. That's my rant on that. Anyway, we're gonna go into a couple articles here, and then that will be it for the night. So, Marvel celebrates Halloween with mask variant covers by James Kerrigan. And really, I'm not even going to read the article. We have right here, you can see some of the masks, and they're going to have cutout mask covers. When these come around, I might buy 2 copies of each, one to actually keep for the collection, because these are cool. These are really cool. You can see it's traditional Marvel designs for the masks that are on these covers. So I'll probably buy 2 copies, one to actually keep for the collection, and then another one to actually cut out and have my little one wear at least the Spidey one. Maybe the older one might want to wear Beast or Iron Man. I might wear Iron Man or Spidey. Who knows? But yeah, I'll probably be getting 2 of these each, just to, like I said, one for collection, one to actually have fun with the cutout masks. So, but that was cool. I saw that in an article. I just wanted to mention that. And then also announced for anybody that cares about anime and Gundam in particular, it was apparently announced at San Diego Comic-Con that the Gundam Wing Endless Waltz movie is going to be re-releasing and coming to U.S. theaters. Bandai also announced new merch, new films, and an anime series. But I want to focus on just the part where they were talking about just Endless Waltz. I didn't even read the article. Fans were treated to news of a 4K theatrical screening of Mobile Suit Gundam Wing Endless Waltz coming soon to the US, as well as newly announced Japanese adaptation of Gundam Wing directed by Toru Iwasawa. But a newly announced Japanese adaptation, but Gundam Wing is already Japanese. That doesn't make any sense. Whoever wrote this article is an idiot. The panel also teased limited edition anniversary merchandise and revealed that remastered episodes of the original Gundam series, so with Amuro Ray and the original Gundam, will be available for free streaming on YouTube's Gundam Info channel. Oh, that's cool. The panel introduced new character designs for the major pilots, as well as a new worldwide portal for the franchise. So yeah, that's cool. Endless Waltz, Gundam Wing, one of the most iconic Gundam Gundam storylines and franchises out there of the Gundam IP as a whole. Endless Waltz was a fantastic movie. I loved Endless Waltz. It's probably one of my favorite Gundam movies. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Anyway, we've been here. It's gonna be, like I said earlier, it was gonna be a short show tonight. Not a whole lot going on in terms of new comics this week. But yeah. Anyway, here is the pull list. We'll go through it one more time, and then we'll say so long to everybody. But so, in no particular order, just how it's showing up on the screen. Out of Marvel, we have Wolverine by Chris Claremont, number 1, reprinting a very limited run Chris Claremont story written from back in the day. Ultimate X-Men, number 18. Ultimate Wolverine, number 8. Something is Killing the Children, number 43 by Boom Studios. Radiant Black, number 36, out of Image Comics. Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Rita's Rewind, number 1, which is a tie-in to the side-scroller, the arcade side-scroller fighter that was released last year. Helverine, number 9, by Marvel. Don't Forget Your Briefcase, number 2, out of Mad Cave Studios. Detective Comics number 880, the facsimile edition, which is a 1-to-1 reprint of the original printing of this book from back in the day, out of DCComics. Absolute Superman, number 10 out of DC. And then also, I didn't talk about it, but I have it here on the list because everybody is absolutely loving Absolute Batman. Pun not intended. But Scott Snyder apparently has been completely killing it with this. This is another one. I've only read the first 2 issues of it. I enjoyed it. I feel like I can get deeper into it to really see the hype that people are talking up about it. But the first trade paperback of it, the first volume of it, issues number 1 through 6, is going to be available this week. So if you want to get caught up, or at least start to get caught up on Absolute Batman, but you don't want to get the floppies, you just want to get the trade paperback, read 6 issues, and then wait another few months for the next for volume 2 to come out after that, that's totally fine. I know that's how a lot of people prefer to read comics nowadays, especially people that don't have room for long boxes and stuff like that. They'd rather just grab the trade paperbacks, stick them on a bookshelf, and move on with their day. But Absolute Batman volume number 1, The Zoo trade paperback is what they're calling that first story arc. The trade paperback collects issues 1 through 6 of Absolute Batman. But yeah, so let's get on over to here. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I know we had upwards of almost 20 people watching at one point, which is awesome. But now we're down to 7. And that's totally fine, because I appreciate the 7 of you, and all 7 of you are here exclusively over on Rumble. Nobody on YouTube is watching. So, oh well, it is what it is. But thank you to the 7 of you, all 7 of you who are on Rumble, for being here, hanging out, watching, having a good time. Hopefully, I hope you all enjoyed the episode. But hit the like, hit the follow, hit the repost. If you guys have a YouTube account, if you just head on over to YouTube just to hit subscribe and interact with one video over there, because I am pushing to get to that 500 mark. After I hit that 500 mark, I'm not gonna really care. Just because need just that 500 mark. Oh, Jose Taco is here on YouTube. Says I'm here. And now it shows up with one on YouTube, because that's you, Jose Taco. Yeah, I don't know. I think because maybe you were like on a different tab or something like that and listening in the background, maybe it just wasn't counting the viewership, which is fine. Totally fine. I can only go off of what I can see. So, but Jose Taco, thank you for being here, brother. I appreciate you as always, brother. You're a good dude. But what was I saying? Yeah, hit the like, hit subscribe. If anybody has Rumble account, head on over, hit the like, hit the follow, hit the repost, then you go back to your preferred platform. Same thing with all of you watching on Rumble. If you don't mind, just head on over to YouTube, hit that, interact with one video, hit that subscribe, and then head back on over to Rumble to continue with all your viewing enjoyment and entertainment. But everybody, please go check out my wife, Queen Comics Wife, as well. All one word. Comics is spelled the same way as it is here, with an X. Queen Comics Wife. She is on YouTube and on Rumble as well. She hit her first 200. She hit 200 followers on Rumble last week. She hit 100 subscribers on YouTube last week as well. We celebrated that. I'm sorry, not last week. The week before. We celebrated that a little over a week ago, with a big Among Us stream that had a bunch of friends of the channel on, her channel, my channel, a bunch of friends of our channels on, playing Among Us with us. That was fun. But go check her out as well. She will be live on Tuesday. I will be back here tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be during the day, or it'll probably be at night. I'll be back here tomorrow night for a gaming stream. I think I'm going to keep playing Pokemon Red. And if that's what I end up doing, it'll be exclusively over on Rumble, because YouTube's not going to like that. And instead of getting copyright claims and a potential copyright strike from Game Freak and Nintendo, I'm just going to avoid that by just not streaming it to YouTube that day, if that's what I decide to do. If I decide to play something else, I'll stream it on both platforms. But until next time, everybody, please be good to yourselves, be good to each other, support your local comic shops, support independent comic creators, and support small creators like myself, Queen Comics Wife, Putinbot, Sergeant Wilkie, White Devil Otaku, Power Keg Greg, all the fellows who were hanging out in the chat earlier tonight, Queen Comics Wife. And as always, I just hope y'all just have a good one, and I'll catch you on the next time. Later, everybody. Take care. Thank y'all so much. And what are we doing? Is this what we're... Oh, man. Hold on. Is this what we're doing on the way out? I don't know. All right. I'm just moving on over. All right. Later, guys.
Assemble true believers, it's time for the show. ComixDad's in the house with the books you should know. He's flipping through pages, the good and the bad. Superhero showdowns and villains gone mad. With a wink and a grin, he's your comic book guide. So grab your pull list, let's take this ride. It's the pull list, here we go. ComixDad's got the highs and lows. From epic wins to flops that miss, he's breaking down the books on the pull list. Superheroes, villains, and lore, he's got opinion you can't ignore. From indie gems to Marvel's might, ComixDad's here to set it right. Panels pop the story, so I'll tell you what's worth fighting for. Some books shine, some books fade. ComixDad's calling it. It's the pull list, here we go. Tune in